Hello and welcome to Tara Smith's Kitchen. I am cooking live today and I'm going to be making Mexican meatball soup, or at least my version, if I can get this wire out of the way. Technical difficulties. There's always technical difficulties. But anyways, that's what I'm doing. I'm making Mexican meatball soup. We're about to start adding a bunch of ingredients to this bowl right here that I've got I've got a little over. I've probably got like 2¼ to 2⅓ pounds of hamburger meat in there. And that's what we're going to make our meatballs out of. We're going to start with that. And we're going to go from there. We're going to start with that. Then we're going to put a whole bunch of stuff in a blender. We're going to pour that in a pot. We're going to put our meatballs in there, and we're going to start adding vegetables and stuff like that on top of it. But let me check Rumble and see if I'm going live. I am going live on Rumble, so awesome. Don't know who else is watching over there. I got some of this stuff already prepped. Some of it I'm going to have to cook along the way. But see if I can remember all this. Because we have black pepper, we have oregano, we have cumin, we have garlic, salt. We've got rice we're going to have to put in here. And what I'm going to start off with, it's weird seeing stuff go across the screen a little bit later, because Rumble is just a little bit behind the regular. Anyways, let's start off with 1½ teaspoons of garlic salt. I think I used garlic powder last time because I didn't have garlic salt. And of course, HEB. I live in Texas. That's kind of the way it goes. Live in Texas. What's going to happen? I'm also going to use about 1½ teaspoon of oregano. Now, some more traditional dishes will use mint in the dish. I've had it before with mint in it. It's good. It's just I don't put mint in it myself. I'm putting 1½ teaspoon of oregano. There we go. All right, now time for some black pepper. It's 2 teaspoons of black pepper. Bring this down a little bit. Do not want to use too much of this next spice, but we got to have it. This is 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. I mean, if you use a little too much, it's not that big a deal. But it definitely needs the cumin flavor. It just wants to come out of this thing because it's real finely ground. And well, if you've put it out in a spoon, you know what I mean. Of course, from HEB again. Now I'm going to put some seasoning salt in there. This one's going to be another 1/2 teaspoon of seasoning salt. forgetting? I have no idea what I'm forgetting. I know we don't need that. So. All right, now we need a, everybody has their stuff in the way. We need a cup of rice. If you're out there in the comments, leave a comment. Let me pull Rumble up here. One person watching Rumble. Let me pull up the live chat. There we go. I don't want people on Rumble to feel left out. Move my phone just so I don't look weird. Where are we at? Okay, we need rice. So I'm going to put a cup of rice in here. Let's try to get everything ready. This meal has more ingredients than I usually use. So it's got a little bit more preparation. Now, some people will go ahead and they'll like pre-boil their rice and then they'll mix it in. I don't do that. I let the rice cook with the soup. It'll be in there long enough. You're not going to have a problem. But this is a cup of rice. There we go. And I need something to put meatballs in. Don't give me that look, cat. Have a cat that's giving me strange looks. And that is fine. My favorite towel. One of these days I'll have more plates and bowls and silverware and all that good stuff. So hold on 1 second. There we go. Let me see, where am I at? Okay. Also, Dos Equis. Still drinking that this weekend. Or this week. I'm on vacation from work, so I've lost track of what day it is. I know it's 9/11. Everybody knows it's 9/11. I hope. Take my watch off. Put over here. And yes, my hands are clean. And we are going to mix this all together. It's a little messy, but it's worth it. You will get awesome meatballs out of this. I have some more stuff to mix in here too. Just go ahead and mix that in there. Where's my other? Here we go. Now, this is probably about a quarter cup of cilantro that I chopped up, about a quarter of an onion, and 2 garlic cloves that I actually kind of minced instead of smashing this time. And that is going to go in here as well. There's going to be a lot of vegetables in here. And that's a good thing. Vegetables are good. I don't feel right if I haven't got my vegetables. I grew up, and usually my mom would have a big garden. Hold on, let me mute this. Sorry about that. Somebody had to get something out of the fridge. I'm going to try to mix this in here real good. And we have 2 more things to add to it. I just wanted to get the rest of this mixed in good before we add 2 eggs to it to kind of hold it together. Get the rice and everything mixed in real good. Next is eggs. That would be awesome to screw up. I think that's the one thing I haven't screwed up yet, is breaking an egg on camera. I've screwed everything else up. Well, yes I did. There we go. Glad I caught that. Anyways, it's going to need an egg. Or 2 eggs. And we're going to mix this. See what happens when you brag about yourself? You mess up. Okay. Now, you don't have to have huge meatballs. And yes, this is messy. You're gonna wash your hands a few times doing this. I'm gonna make them about that size. I like having one good meatball in the bowl. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be exact. If you can do it that way, that is awesome. But try to get them close. You can do them small. You can do them large. You can do them whatever size that you want to do them. I'm going to be muting the camera again once I start using the blender, just because I think it'll be a little bit too loud for the camera, or just for the video. It won't be for that long, unless somebody else walks in here. In all honesty, at this point, I think it's done on purpose. Can't be sure, but If you're out there, leave a comment, let me know. I'm going to check Rumble again here in just a minute. Once I clean my hands, because I am using StreamYard. And for some reason, you can't see the Rumble comments on StreamYard. So I have my phone pulled up with the Rumble comments. He's out there. Jumpy Killer, hello, how are you doing? I think Krabby had to go early. I'm going to have to wash my hands before I handle my phone to look at the Rumble comments. Yes, I'm making meatball soup. I put your comment up there on the computer, but I don't want to get this on my computer. So I gotta make all the meatballs. And a lot of this I'm gonna kind of ad lib. I'm not using an exact recipe or anything like that. I'm just kind of getting close. It's a really good soup. You don't have to be exact on everything. You do need to have cumin in it. You do need to have the oregano, mint if you prefer mint, and you can mix the mint and the oregano. Which I know several people who do that. This is a dish that this is a dish that I had tried before. I had eaten it several times, but for some reason the Mexican restaurants don't want to sell this soup. And to be honest, this stuff is so good. If I had a taco truck, I would have this soup on the truck just ready to dish out. Probably smaller meatballs in it. So I started asking some friends of mine, because I live down in Texas. I live close to Houston, not in Houston. And so I do have a lot of Hispanic friends. And they kind of helped me out with the recipe of how to cook it. And it turned out good. I've cooked it before. You can find it on my channel if you want to see a shortened version. I think the only real difference was I used garlic powder instead of garlic salt. Pretty sure that was the only real difference because I didn't have any at the time. That's a bit too much. But we're going to get the meatballs made. Then we're going to start putting things in the blender. And we're going to put that in a pot back there. We're going to start adding meatballs to it. And I'm using both beef and chicken broth. I saw several recipes when I was kind of coming up with this that some would use chicken and some would use beef. And I never could make up my mind which one that I wanted to use. So I used both. And cat, stop. Yes, I do have animals in the house. I have 2 cats and a mastiff. I may have to talk to them occasionally. But anyways, I couldn't decide on whether to use beef, which you can use bouillon, you can use stock, you can use broth, like most of these dishes. And I couldn't make up my mind which one I wanted to use, so I just used both. And this is going to be the oddball out right here, I think. Unless by some miracle they all came out the same. I doubt it very seriously. But we are about to find out. This one's got a little bit more egg. Obviously, it's in the bottom of the pan. It's just a tiny bit smaller. Not too bad. Also in the process of sort of a late spring cleaning and remodeling and painting. So that's what I'm spending my vacation doing. Let me wash this out and wash my hands. I might need this later, so that's why I'm washing it out. I have a lot of ingredients to prepare. We're putting white potatoes in there, chayotes, however you pronounce that. Carrots, squash, all sorts of things. Let me check Rumble. Make sure I'm not missing anyone. Doesn't look like anybody's commented on Rumble. But I am definitely not forgetting about you guys. That needs to be removed. Wash my hands again. Okay. This part's going to get a little bit fun. These are chipotles and adobo sauce. And let's see, what do I have? Good, dishes are done. That'll help. I was going to chop these up, but it's going in the blender. I'm going to put 1, 2, and that's not too hot right there if you don't like things real spicy, but I'm going to add a little bit more. I'll put 3 in there. And what else? I know I'm forgetting something. I go here. Me making my usual mess. Gotta figure something out. Okay, I got a problem. I know how to fix said problem. There we go. And remove these. Some olive oil. And I'm going to chop up another onion. Doesn't have to be too bad or too fine because it's going in the blender. I'm just going to kind of smash up a little bit 2 cloves of garlic. And you'll see what I'm doing. Tomatoes, and they're Roma tomatoes. They're not too cold. If you're taking them out of the freezer, be careful. Let them get kind of room temperature or warmed up a little before you put them in hot grease. You don't want to chunk something cold in hot grease. Yes, it does like to pop. We're kind of going to roast season the olive oil a little bit. Sorry about the spatula. Try to turn the heat down a little bit. about a quarter of a small onion, and 2 garlic cloves. I'm going to roast these in here with the tomatoes. And all of this is going to go into that thing for the blender. Let me see. While that is doing its thing, I can probably start doing some other stuff. Like, I'm going to put a teaspoon of this in there. This is chicken bouillon, but it's tomato flavor. One thing you might want to check on these. Yeah. Make sure the bottom's on good so you don't make a huge mess. I've done that before. This is beef bouillon. Teaspoon of that in there. This equates to about 1 cup of water per teaspoon. We're probably going to put a little bit more than that in there. Opening up a fresh one here. And that is chicken bouillon. Another teaspoon. What you're kind of going to want to do, you might have to get your hands in here because they're slippery. They want to go on that flat side. There we go. And in here, the only thing I don't like about measuring cumin. It wants to come out too fast and like a little clumpy. That's just cumin. About a teaspoon of cumin. Cat, go. 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 put the onion in here. I think. Did I? No, I put the onion in there. Okay, cool. Making sure of where everything is. Una cerveza. Por favor. One more. And if you happen to be drinking right now, not a huge drinker, but feel free to leave a comment as to what you're drinking. And or what your preferred drink might be. There we go. Check the two here. Cool. Well, it's kind of late, so I figure a lot of people are going to catch this later. Had a lot to do today, doctor's appointments, stuff like that. The meatballs, you're going to want them to kind of fill out this pan when we get through. You'll see. I never put any things out, but brought out to my live. Let me do that. These are just about ready. Yeah, I'll throw some out for Rumble. You should start smelling it about right now. Okay. I threw some links out there. And if you make a bit of a mess, don't worry about it. Turn my fire off. I had an electrical outlet rewired today, and it works really good. But I think I know why my pilot light's not coming on my stove. I think they were probably done in like a series. All of these are going to go in there. Don't curse me too bad for using a metal spoon. But I needed something. And you can have the olive oil. That's not a big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to put it in the blender. And we are going to blend this. Tell you what, I'm going to do one little blend real quick before I mute it. Y'all can let me know, someone in the comments, or I'll listen later if it's too loud. There we go. Now I'm going to mute it. Okay, hopefully I save all your ears. This is going to go in here. I'm probably going to start the fire thing again. So hold on. Technical difficulties once again. And if you have a gas stove, always have matches. If the power goes out, something like that, you can still cook. But anyways, I think the story I was getting into earlier was that I had talked to some friends and they kind of helped me out with the recipe. What I'm going to do here is I want to start setting these in here. And you are not going to want to play with these too much. They're going to need to be boiling for, a good 5-10 minutes by themselves. So they don't come apart. If you try to stir them or mess with them before then, there's a good chance that they will come apart on you. And there we go. I'm going to mix up some more bouillon. And the first two, let me wash my hands. The first two that I do, I think I'm going to do chicken, and then I'll do the beef. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of half and half. So it worked the last time that I made it. That's what I'm going to do this time. Actually, this is the beef. Yeah, I can use a little more. And now I will do chicken. Remember, we already have a tablespoon, actually a teaspoon of each in there. I might put some more in, I might not. Turn my heat up. And bring this to a boil. And in the meantime, let me check. Rumble. In the meantime, I'm going to start chopping up some vegetables. And since I only have one camera for now, I'll try to put this over here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. First, I'm going to do 2 stalks of celery. 2 onions already peeled, not onions, carrots right here. We'll chop them up. Then I'm just gonna coin them. I really do need another camera. Squash. I don't think I'm gonna add the squash just yet. I have another kind of squash here too. One more squash. Kind of cut up the larger chunks. Okay, where's the chayote? This is a chayote. I think technically it's a kind of squash or fruit or something like that. Looks like a pear. It's really good. I'm going to peel this real quick and I'm going to chop it up. I might do one more of them. Let's see how the potatoes look before I do that. And we will have corn. That'll be one of the last things. Need a bigger kitchen too. I'll do about 5 white potatoes. They don't have to be perfect. As long as they'll fit on a spoon, you'll be good. Four more of these today. And of course, I got all of this from HEB. They don't sponsor me. I wish they did. A sponsor would be awesome. The price of food keeps going up. Kind of glad the boys are grown, but you know, now they're interested in what they eat. I think they have to grow up and get out of your house before they start worrying about what they eat and what things cost. Any of that. I don't know if I can afford to feed them right now. I'd make do. More potatoes. Before I go any further, make sure all this fits. What else do I want to add? I am adding corn. I think that's going to be enough potatoes because I'm also adding corn. So where is my corn? Here it is. I still have to shuck my corn. Oh, shut. Hopefully, when I get through remodeling and everything, I'll be able to have more cameras and stuff set up. Now, if you can find some smaller pieces of corn, it actually works better for this. But I did not see any smaller pieces of corn. I'm just cutting them up like this. More corn. Yeah, I think that's gonna be about it. I was having squash. That's gonna be about all this pot's gonna be able to hold. Here we go. And we shall see if anyone's out there. I got 2 people watching. And this is going to be at least another 30 minutes. Turn my heat back up. Oh, I have to fix an electrical outlet. I know what it is now. It's in a series from one to the other, but I think I can tie the lines together. I don't know. I'll find out tomorrow. If you're out there, leave a comment. Let me know you're there. Too many messages on the phone. I have a cooking channel and a bike channel and updates and all that good stuff. But we basically got a half an onion in here. So we use a quarter onion for the meatballs. Let's see if we can go back through this. I've got about 2.5 pounds of meat. You can use 2 pounds, probably a little, I use a little less than 2.5 hamburger meat. We put 1.5 teaspoons of oregano, 1.5 teaspoons of garlic salt, which I will show you. Here's the oregano. Here is the garlic salt from HEB. We put 1/2 teaspoon of cumin in there. 1/2 teaspoon of seasoned salt, Lowry's. And about 1/4 cup of chopped cilantro and 1/4 onion and 2 eggs. And we made the meatballs. And then we put into the blender, I put 3 of the adobo peppers, or the chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. We put the other 1/4 of an onion in there, but the 1/4 of the onion we put in the pot with 5 Roma tomatoes and 2 cloves of garlic. Also in the meatballs, we had 2 minced cloves of garlic. There's 2 more cloves of garlic that we roasted in there with the tomatoes. We put that in the blender. I put 1 teaspoon of the tomato base, the chicken base, and 1 teaspoon of the beef base in there. And we blended that. I added, what was that, about 2 cups of water to it. And we poured it in the pot. We put 2 more cups of water. I have another, just a little less than a cup over there into the pot. We've got 2 carrots coined up. Well, we put the meatballs in there because you don't want to mess with them, especially at first. We coined up 2 carrots. We chopped 2 stalks of celery, 1 chayote, what else? 2 squashes. One of them has that Mexican name, and the other is just a yellow squash, kind of a yellow Mexican squash. I can't remember the name. I'm having problems with names. I was talking to a doctor about that today. Did not get good news, but that's another story. And we put, we didn't do 5. We did 4 white potatoes, diced up, and 2 ears of corn. And let me see what else we put in there. Oh yeah. In the blender, we also, if I forgot to mention it, we put another half a teaspoon of cumin in there. And crack that a little bit. Because we are up by the top. So this whole pot's full. This is a few days worth of food. Or feed a large family. Whatever you choose. I don't have a lot of garnishes to go with it. But I do have lime. That you cannot be without. You have to have a lime. And we're going to be sitting here for another 15 to 20 minutes. So if any of y'all want to leave a comment and talk or anything, that would be awesome. Give me someone to talk to. Any food ideas y'all would like to see me cook? I've got everything for, what is that? Maripo. And for Trinity, I've got rice, I've got hamburger meat, I've got sausage, I've got some leg quarters. Might do more of a Czech version of chicken paprikash. I might do that tomorrow night or the next night. I'm not sure. I'm home all week. And I'm going to be eating most of this. But I think I'm going to give some of this to my neighbor. She's an elderly lady. And she fell. So she's not doing that great right now. So I might be dishing some of this up and taking it to her. But if you have any ideas of anything you want me to cook, feel free to post them in the chat or on my Discord. So that is something I can do. And while we are waiting, I put my Patreon link out there. I do have a Patreon. My Patreon serves 2 channels. It serves my bike channel, which you'll see more of me on the bike channel. because I need another camera for my kitchen. I have 2 Harleys, and I did a toy run, poker run, toy run this weekend to raise money for children's toys for Christmas. And I'll probably, yeah, I'm going to post that one. Turn my heat down just a little bit. That is a link to my Patreon if you wish to support my channel. And let me get it over on Rumble as well. I'm broadcasting out to YouTube, Twitch, and to Rumble. So hello on Twitch, if I forgot to say that earlier. And there's another link. Might be kind of it for the links. I don't know what I want to put in there. I don't know who else is going to watch it. Might put my other channel in there. That is my other channel, and that is a link to my other channel if any of you want to check that out. Show you. That is my Patreon. I think you can do less than $3, but $3 will give you Discord roles, and my Patreon will give you access to my Discord if you're not already on there. And that is my other channel. That is Chasing Ghosts. That is for my motorcycle content, if you want to check that out. And the soup here will be done basically at this point when the potatoes are done. And that bearded guy, hello, how are you doing? Let me push some of this down in here. I am making a mess. But I am always making a mess, so it's not that big of a deal. Push this down in here some more. You follow on IG? Yes, I do have Instagram, my bike channel on there. I don't know if I can post a link to that or not. I'm not hugely technically proficient. Doesn't seem to want to let me. Now it says link copied. And that is my Instagram. For anyone who follows there. Oh, I got you. I got you. My pot's a little bit too full, so I'm having to be careful here. Turn my heat down a little bit. I got meatballs in the bottom, but I don't want to mess with them. And I do like these knives. Clean this one off before I show it. At least wipe it off. I believe my son got me these, a whole set for Christmas, and they are very, very sharp. Oh, family's doing okay. Let me show this one. Yeah, that's my Instagram. Drinking Dos Equis tonight. Yes, they are very nice knives. Had doctor's appointments today so I could get my letters for my physical. I drive a truck for a living. Usually what I do, I'm on vacation this week and I'm mostly working on my house. But usually whatever food that I cook on the weekends, whatever pot of whatever that I cook for you, that is what I eat throughout the week. And I dish it up and I put it in the fridge in the truck and I heat it up. And I don't have to eat truck stop food, which is not very good for you. And the good news from the doctor was I've lost 30 pounds since last year at the same time. So that's good. You usually get complaints of your weight went up. No, it went down. It's the beer, I promise. I'm on a beer diet. Yes, you used to watch for the cab. I might be doing some more of those. Been a while, but I might do some more. I've been in and out of trucks. Some of them aren't that great. But we have some new trucks. They're trying to cycle them all out and deal with the new problems. Like I said, I got my pot a little too full. The new trucks are nice, but they're automatics. And that's just kind of, I've never driven an automatic truck before. I got not so great news at the doctor too, but I don't know if I want to mention that on here. If you're on my Discord, you already would know if you read my last post, or at least the conversation between me and Charger. Which is why I've been having problems with words. Yes, they are very touchy. And that's the biggest problem right up there. So people watching later can see. I pull a tanker, and it's a big smooth bore tanker. So all that liquid's just sloshing, single compartment, and it wants to shift too hard and it gets the surge going. And then it messes with the computer, wanting to give it more or less power, and it causes it to surge more. They need like a tanker mode on those things, make them shift smoother. Hopefully, before I'm on the ice and snow this winter, I'm more comfortable with it and I have it figured out. It's also got the collision avoidance system. I have more issues with that because it's locked up, I think, 3 times so far with nothing in front of me. But it seems to have something to do with a bridge, because all 3 times I was going under a bridge. And somehow it's like lock up the brakes. And if it does that and you're on a sheet of ice, it's a whole different ball game. Yeah. We've probably got 15 more minutes on this suit. Let me push this corn and stuff back down in there. I don't know if it does any good. I've just always done that. But I put a little bit too much stuff in here. Got a little carried away with it. So my pot's a little bit too full. Yeah, I think you're right. The sensor, because of the light difference. There needs to be a way to disconnect it. Because when I'm up in North Dakota or Montana or Michigan or someplace like that, it won't be long to be snowing again. Actually, next month I'll probably be in the snow. Which is weird because it's like that every year though. Yeah, it's been in the hundreds down here, and it's still going to be hot in October down here, and I'm probably going to start hitting snow again. I usually only get like a month and a half out of the snow every year. That's just the way it is. Oh, duct tape. I might have to try that. I was wondering if all the bugs and stuff that we're getting on it were causing a problem. It's like driving north, going up to North Dakota. It gets cooler. It's like down here it's been so hot. It's like the bugs really weren't flying around that bad. Then you get up into like Kansas and Nebraska, and it's just like bugs all over the front of the truck. Can't really keep it clean. I try, but there's just too many of them. So now we're just watching a pot boil. I've been doing these lives. I need to have something else to cook while this thing's boiling. I did that with one of them, and that worked out well. And if you're watching this later and you don't want to sit here and watch a pot boil for 30 minutes, feel free to skip ahead and see the finished product. But being that I don't have a time machine, I have no way to do that now. I'm either going to make pushniak or chicken pepper kash tomorrow, I think. Yeah, that panic mode, it did that 3 times. It just locks the brakes up like you're fixing to hit a wall. Give this about 10 more minutes. I'm going to try the potatoes. Oh, getting older sucks. It's better than the alternative, as far as I know. I've never talked with anybody who's came back. Just from my experience, it's better than the alternative. I still think the warranty on a human body expires somewhere around the age of 45. That's all just downhill from there. Oh yeah, it'll keep you on your toes. It will definitely keep you on your toes. There might be a night or two. I don't know if I'll be able to cook or not because I'm going to strip all the cabinets and everything in here. And honestly, it shouldn't affect it, but I'm going to leave them stripped for about a day. And then I'm going to go back and paint them, kind of let it air a little bit. Let me check Rumble. I don't want to forget the people on Rumble. No one's commented yet, but sometimes they do. I tend to get more views on my live chats on Rumble, and not necessarily when I'm doing them live, but like the next day. Like throughout the next 2 days, I'll get a bunch of views on it. Oh, they checked my A1C too. I'm supposed to find out that in about a week. So keep your fingers crossed there. I already know I'm pre-diabetic, but they found something when they were looking at my eyes when I got my eye exam. And they said to have that checked. So they're checking that. My wife is diabetic though, so we're already dealing with that in my house. And I don't use a whole lot of sugar and everything, and most things are sugar-free. I don't drink beer that often. I don't do a lot of things that often. Most of the drinks are sugar-free. If tea's made right, you don't need to put sugar in it. You know, iced tea. I mean, sweet tea is awesome. I live in the South. It's a staple. But I've been basically trying, to cut my sugar content way down. And well, it seems to have helped. I lost some weight. I already know I'm going to lose my hearing. I'm already losing my hearing. I don't need to be blind to be like Helen Keller. Had meningitis a long time ago. Lost my hearing completely, gained it back, but I'm losing it again. I'm like right on the line of needing a hearing aid or not. They were telling me today that, yeah, I'm going to need a hearing aid. I just don't quite need it yet. I'm at the point where, like, if you're walking through a grocery store and they have music playing, I can't understand what people are saying. I'm like looking right at your mouth and desperately trying to figure out what you're saying. And of course, I got the ringing in my ears. It gets louder and louder, and the quieter it gets. That just doesn't go away. Spent most of my life about 3 foot from an exhaust stack, so what do you expect? That and riding bikes doesn't help. Shooting guns, everything else, it's not like I've exactly took care of my hearing. Check this bowl out. My wife bought me. I need to wash a ladle. So I'm washing a ladle. Once my other video downloads from my ride today, going to the doctor and back, I'll probably post that one like a Patreon only video just because of the topic set up. Go Shadow, hey, how are you? I'm cooking Mexican meatball soup. And it should be just about done. And I'm still drinking. I mean, usually I'll buy a case of beer and a year later, I'm wondering if it's still good to drink. That's probably a good thing. It does taste better out of the bottle though. More of a liquor drinker. And I don't drink liquor that often either. A lot of that has to do with my job because I can't even blow a trace. And if I do, I'm screwed. So have a good glass of vodka or scotch I like a good glass of scotch. You know, single malt, double cask. But I need at least 2 days off. Like the day before I go back to work, I'm not drinking anything. German beer is good. They did a good job with my people's creation. By that I mean Pilsner beer. Most of your beer, you're not drinking honey beer. Before that, that's what it was. There's a little place in the Czech Republic called Pilsen, which is where the name Pilsner comes from. And that is where Pilsner beer came from. But then the Germans, they did wonderful things with it. Ale beer, yep. Like I said earlier, I'm still having problems with words, and that's not going away. What is the word? Mead. Mead is one of them things. Some people like it, some people don't. I've had some that wasn't bad, but I've never really liked it. Yeah, the restrictions are different if you have a CDL and any, I think even with a pilot's license, they things you do in your personal vehicle count against your commercial license. When you get a ticket, you get the same points as if you were in your truck. I have a friend who's a pilot. That's one of his skills. I kind of wanted to fly. My grandfather always wanted to fly again. Cat, will you stop? Gotta go be up at 4 a.m. Well, get a full 4 hours of sleep. I fight for that every night. Sweet dreams. Thank you for watching. My grandfather flew, what was it? I think a L-19 Piper in Korea, or one of my grandfathers did. Both of them were in Korea. Both of them came back alcoholics, big time. Those guys, they went up against some real shit and were kind of forgot about. But he flew reconnaissance. You got to remember, this is the early 50s. A lot of stuff isn't like it is today. And so they'd radio back like where the cannons and stuff were, and they'd fly at treetop level. He didn't talk much about it. He talked a little bit. It was more that when he did later in life was that he always wanted to fly again. It's probably one of his biggest regrets. Isn't there under a certain class you don't need a license, or did John Denver screw that up? Okay, I think my soup's about done. Chayote is done. The potato's done. potato is done and it's hot. There we go. Ultralights don't need a license. So now that I overfilled my pot, let's see if I can do this. Try to get the meatball out first. Get some vegetables and stuff to go with it. There we go. Kind of want to take a picture of it. Always gets on the side. I can't make it look fancy. Some people they can get that little splash where it looks professional. And of course, a lime. See if I can get some kind of picture of that. Try my GoPro. Wants to upload. Power off. Photo. How do I zoom? There we go. Cool. I have one of these now. Don't want to track any of that in the food. I got rid of my 11 mini because it kept overheating. They were going to send me a new one, but I went to Best Buy to get the receipt because I couldn't find it. And at Best Buy, they said that it was still covered under the warranty, so they offered me another one. You know, so I put just a little extra money in with it, and I got the creator pack for the regular 11. That is awesome. You should post some pics. I might need to do something like that. God, what's the word? basically pounding out some pork and frying it. I'll think of it later. It's a German dish. I may cook that at some point. But of course, taste test. And it's good. Now you can have little meatballs in it. Or I like the big meatball. I take a piece off of it. And of course the rice is cooked. The meatballs have rice in them. You don't have to cook the rice first. Just mix it in with the meatballs and it will cook itself. We'll soak up some of the liquid, thankfully. Oh, cool. Yeah, boiled spinach. My older brother won't eat cooked carrots. He'll eat a raw carrot. He won't eat a cooked carrot. I've seen that fight too many times. He'd rather, like, die before he ate a cooked carrot. I'm not crazy about meringue. We always called it calf slobbers growing up. And the squash is good. And the meatballs are good. I'll try the corn here in a minute. Corn is kind of hot. I'll take a little piece off the corn. You probably want to wait to eat the corn last. Ooh, reindeer sausage. I've never had that. I do love elk, though. I've had plenty of elk. Never had reindeer. Had alligator. I've had rattlesnake. I've had all kinds of things. Never had reindeer. Yeah, I think I'm going to dish some of this up for the neighbor. Still don't know for sure what I want to cook tomorrow night. I take the chicken out and let it thaw if I'm going to do like the chicken pepper kosh. So I might just do like kapuzniak or something. Cabbage patch. I'm needing the watch time. 2 reasons I'm doing more lives, which I put a poll out about. One is you don't spend all your time editing. Now, if you screw up, you screw up live. But you don't have to spend all your time editing, and I do need the watch time. And I think about 32 more subscribers. We get to the beginnings of monetization on YouTube. Whereas Rumble, I do make a little bit of money, but it's not a whole lot. It started making money, but it's like a quarter per video. And I'm not going to put out that many videos. It's something. But generally, I haven't made this that many times. And like I said earlier, this is a recipe I kind of got with some friends with, and they all had different ways of making it, which is probably, how their grandmother or, their mother made it or something like that. And everybody has their little different thing they do for it. I kind of had to pick out from several of my friends to figure out how to make this. And just me personally, instead of having a bunch of little meatballs in there, I just kind of do a bigger meatball. That way you have like that one big meatball in the bowl, and then you got all your vegetables and stuff. Yeah, a quarter used to get you into a pay toilet too. In fact, a nickel used to get you into a pay toilet. I saw one of those a while back. I'm like, oh my God, people still have those? DJ Play Nice. Well, it's already cooked. It's a Mexican meatball soup, or at least my version of it. I don't think a lot of people are up this late. I didn't make it too spicy. It is a little bit spice in it. It's got 3 of the chipotle peppers and adobo sauce in with the stock there. Cat, no. One of my cats is doing what cats do, which is general mischief. But for DJ, there's a big old meatball down there. And there's corn, there's 2 different kinds of squash, celery, there's carrots, there's Roma tomatoes all blended up. There's both beef and chicken bouillon, but you can use stock or broth or what have you. And I got a teaspoon of tomato bouillon in it, about half an onion, 2 carrots, 2 sticks of celery, 2 squash, and it's got coarse black pepper, garlic salt, cumin, seasoning salt. I don't put mint in the meatballs, which is kind of, I think, more a traditional thing. I'm not Mexican, so I do live in Texas, but I'm not Mexican. And you missed what you voted for? Okay. Well, you can rewatch. I'm making a few meals this week. There's 2 cloves of garlic and with the broth that I blended up with the 4 Roma tomatoes and all that in a blender. There's also 2 cloves of garlic in with the meatballs. When I made that, the meatballs have rice in them. Put about a cup of rice in with all the seasoning, with 2 eggs. To make the meatballs. Like, see if you can see that. It has rice in the meatballs. So now I'm just cooking, or I'm just eating. Not really 47 and a half ingredients, but there's a lot. And thank you, DJ. Oh yeah, 2 ears of corn. Cut up just like you see them in soup in Mexican restaurants. Although if you can find smaller ears of corn, this is something that would work better. And oh yeah, there's also, I put a chayote in there. That's that squash fruit thing at all the Mexican stores that, I can't remember if that's squash or fruit, but it looks like a pear. And I put one of those in here. And I put, was going to be 5 white potatoes, but I put 4 white potatoes in it. So now I'm just eating my supper. Oh yeah, sweet corn. Sometimes there's nothing better than just corn on a cob, heavily buttered. Sometimes that's just the best thing in the world. I'm probably going to give some of this to my neighbor. I said earlier, she's an elderly lady and she fell, so she's not doing too good. So I can give her some soup to heat up, homemade soup, so she doesn't have to cook, or her daughter. What the hell? I don't think I've ever seen anyone eat corn vertically. I mean, I cut corn vertically if I'm cutting it off the cob. Most people are like horizontal, like a harmonica. I think there's something lost in society now. We're a very communal species, especially when it comes to food. And families, tribes for thousands of years have always gathered around and ate together. Just like most other animals that are in some kind of pack or herd or what have you, we're not that different. There's just the social aspect of eating together. And you would sit down with the kids and everybody and talk, and now people sit in front of the TV, go to their room. There's that family time that's not there. And if you really think about it, what was it, about 400 years ago that they were claiming forks were an abomination? because God intended you to use your hands, something like that, a few hundred years ago, which is about the same. Actually, eating off of separate plates is a relatively new thing historically. So it all used to be on the same plate in the middle of the table. People didn't have that much. But there's that communal thing, that bonding, with families, with your kids and stuff that I think is being lost today. Even as antisocial as even I can be, I don't handle people well. Persons, I handle okay. 2 persons, maybe 3. I'm not very good in groups larger than that. But you still crave that human contact. Ouch. Oh, thank you for the tip there, Ghost Shadow. I have so much, sorry, I have so much to do this week. Hopefully I'll get the kitchen done. I'm pretty sure, because the one light socket, I might show it on a picture or something on Discord or something. It's got the USB things for like phone charging, computers, and all that, and I put it by the stove. But there are 2 sets of wires going to it instead of one. And I think the other one is like daisy chained, like in a series that probably goes to the stove, and that goes to my pilot light. And that's why my pilot light wasn't clicking. So I'm going to have to take that back out of the wall tomorrow and test it and go from there. Excuse me. Sorry. I hope y'all didn't hear that. But eating too fast. But I should be able to just tie them together, complete the circuit. But I'll test it first. If you've seen the older outlets where you got the screws up high and the screws down low and your ground down below that, well, the original outlet was like that. This one only has spots for the 2 wires. You got your hot wire, you got your neutral, you got your ground on the bottom. And so I was left with 2 extra wires, and I think those are the circuit that goes to the stove. Of course, worst case scenario, I can put wire nuts on the ends of the ones that are actually hooked up to it and hook the other ones up to it and see if it will work like that. And that might be what I do. I don't know. I will see. Electricity is a weird thing. I mean, it's not exactly complicated. Generally, just Just like water or anything else, it's going to follow the path of least resistance. Well, there wasn't much need for labeling them. It's just, I didn't know they were in a series there, just changing an outlet. And the new one wires up different than the old one. But once the pilot light didn't light, I kind of figured out what was going on. Kind of simple reasoning at that point. Yeah, electricity's no joke. I've been bit a few times. Although it was funny to hand down a screwdriver with the metal end when he was checking spark plugs. And he wasn't paying attention. Couldn't find me anywhere for the rest of the day. I wonder why. What are you doing, cat? Asking Cat what she's doing. Apparently, she's being a cat. Ouch. I got shocked under a house one time, but I don't remember it. I got knocked out. I wasn't knocked out from the electricity. I was knocked out from hitting my head on, what is that, a floor joist? Old house, pier and beam. It was wet underneath, crawling underneath it. I wish I had my grandfather's welder. Speaking of that, he had one of those old Lincoln welders where you didn't turn the dial. You pulled the cords out and you put the cords. You know, it had everything in the big circle, and you'd pull the cord out and you'd put the cord where you wanted to set the welder. I wish I had that. Kind of wondering when the next time I'm going to be in Michigan is. Had a state trooper in Oklahoma tell me that if they saw that truck without IFTA stickers again, they're going to write my boss a ticket. It's got the IFTA permit and everything, just for some reason don't have the sticker. They're apparently waiting on it. Like, well, you can run the truck, but you can't run it outside the state. Okay. Even though we got the permit. No, they want the sticker on it. So I have no idea what's going on with that. And that corn was good. I need another boom to mount a camera on, and I think I can use that GoPro for another camera. Yeah, most anything nowadays is garbage. In case I forgot to mention it, you do want a lime. About a quarter section of a lime, squeeze it off in the bowl. And it's perfect. Okay, I've been going for 2 hours and 21 minutes. I think I'm going to carry this on for probably about 9 minutes and I'll shut it off. Just make it about an even 2.5 hours. So I have to clean everything up. I have to dish this up. And go to bed. I've got a lot of work to do tomorrow. I'm painting at least the inside of the house, even if I don't get to the outside. I'm steam cleaning the carpets. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Kat, what are you doing? Lola, what are you doing? It's not catnip. Later, DJ. We'll be off the air in a few minutes anyways. Got a cat over here trying to sniff the cilantro. Yeah, I still haven't got the grill that I want. And I do want that, not the cheapest Weber, but like the next step up. Not the most expensive. Then I can do some barbecuing. But the soup is awesome. And I really like the bowl that Amy got me. She is really good at picking stuff like that out. Oh, I don't know if I want to wait another 5 minutes. Kind of at the end of everything here. So, I do need to get to bed. So I'm going to call this to a close, and I will catch all of you later. Thank you so much for watching. And to anybody watching this later, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. I appreciate all of it. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. So I'll catch y'all later. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this red button. So, bye.